Hi, I'm Dylan, and today join me on my Sunday shift where I had a couple of jobs helping to relocate some cherished items. No, cherished. The first job was collecting in Glan Llyn, close to the famous Wild Geese Crossing and Newport's mechanical clock. All the items were being stored in a garage, so I was able to pull up right outside. So I was collecting an old wooden Welsh dresser, a large wooden dining table, chest of drawers, 2 armchairs, a small fridge, a large wooden columned glass, antique custom-built fish tank. And there were several other pieces of small furniture and office chairs and some small wooden coffee tables. I was unsure if 2 van loads would be needed, so my second customer was actually waiting for a message as to when I could get to them after I'd completed this first job. For my customer today, the job was about space and peace of mind. Having just moved into their new home, the garage had quickly become overcrowded with large furniture and household items they weren't ready to part with, but had nowhere suitable to keep. Clearing the space allowed them to settle into their new home without the stress and clutter, and nobody likes a cluttered up space when they're ready to rest. If I didn't put the proper defences in place today, let's see what could happen. Without the correct load profiling strategies, I may not be able to get everything in the requested 1 van load. And unfortunately, an extra van load would mean a higher charge for the customer. It's a small threat as the next job was only a small one, but any potential delay may interfere with my next customer's schedule. And without the correct load containment strategy, all the items could end up seriously damaged. It's important to get everything right from the start, as always. So to begin, as a first defence, I considered the load profile and the strategy of the items, and I measured several of the pieces to see if any of them would fit in between the bulkhead and the wheel arch. Unfortunately, none would, so it was going to take some moving around of the items within the wheel arches to see what could create a positive fit. My initial load containment strategy, I started with the large dining table with its cube base and the chest of drawers, allowing room for the Welsh dresser to go on the other side. And using the bulkhead and the wheel arches, the lengths of the bottoms of all the items became interlocked, forming a rigid wall. Now I had a solid wall to work against. I was able to work on the next tier. I was able to interlock the dismantled pieces of the fish tank between the rear of the wheel arches, allowing for no movement and again creating a positive fit. The fragile and delicate glass chamber of the fish tank was wedged within foam surround to allow for any shock absorption from the surrounding pieces. There was a single small chair which I was unable to lock in place, so I had to use a single downward restraint and lock the legs between another item to prevent any movement. The final part of the load containment strategy was a rear containment strap against a brace wall using card pieces to prevent any rear movement from all these heavy pieces, effectively pushing everything forward into the bulkhead. The defences in place, then a quick last check over to ensure everything was good to go. It was my job not just to move furniture on this run, but to help in making the new home functional and to protect valuable belongings. Many of the items held significant value and couldn't simply just be discarded. They needed a secure place to be stored until the customer had time to decide on their long-term plans. After a lovely sunny drive taken in the stunning bridges of Newport, delivery was in an outdoor storage facility in the town centre, so again easy parking right outside. Unloading was straightforward and the move proved to be a fast, reliable solution to reclaim the space in their new house while keeping their belongings safe and accessible. It also left me a good time to head towards my next customer with no delays to the schedule. My next customer needed a hand in Rogiet, a village just outside Newport. Parking for this one again was right outside in front of the house. On this job, I'd been called to collect two two-seater sofas and take them into storage. The customer was having work carried out on their home and they needed a safe temporary place to store these two cherished sofas. Keeping them in storage ensured they were protected from dust and damage and disruption until the work was complete. A bit like Sammy curled up in a safe space. The sofas were only being transported a short distance, but it was a very bumpy road to get to the facility, and without the proper securement, so the main threat on this job would be the sofas getting tossed around and damaged and torn. With a friction mat already laid down for a base lock, a simple reversal on top of each other got both the sofas in and interlocked securely. I then used a careful holding pressure with a triangulated downward restraint to push everything down into the base lock to prevent any possible movement. So with the defences in place, it was now important that they would hold strong, as it would have looked highly unprofessional if the customer had taken the care to move them to prevent the damage, only then for me to let them down in transit. Delivery was also in Rogiet to another outdoor storage facility, so once again unloading was straightforward. The defences had held in place well, and these much loved pieces of furniture the customer had wanted to preserve during home improvements could now be given the temporary storage they needed to allow for the renovation to continue smoothly. Well, the defences were a success story today on both these jobs, allowing for flexibility and reducing the overwhelm of a recent move in the first job and then a practical temporary relocation of the cherished items in the second. As always, if you enjoyed watching me avoid any encounter with the phantom on these jobs today, please do take a look through some of the other videos on the channel. There's plenty of good tips and techniques that I use when moving items of all shapes and sizes. And please do also leave a comment and let me know what you think, and while you're over there, a paw on the like and the subscribe button always goes a long way too. Thanks. So there was a lot of running around in the sun and the heat on these two jobs today, which is something I've been trying to stop Sammy from doing recently. So I best go and find something to help keep him cool. And as always, thanks for watching, and it's Angles Axis Load Order. That's the job, and we'll see you on the next one.